You're 60 plus and you're feeling a little uncertain about what's next. And you know you don't want to fold up your tent and just say, okay, that's it, I'm done. You've had a career, you're moving through your 60s, you're looking at your 70s. I'm 72, and I've had quite an interesting life, and I've had some really wonderful conversations with those who say, hey, there's more to it than what I have at the moment. And so I want to share with you some ideas and also a bit of a reframe, restart for who I am and my involvement with this YouTube channel. So if we've not met, I'm Stephen. I'm a legasant. I find myself, as I mentioned, 72. And the last 6 or so years really getting more involved in this story of legacy and what it might do. And I have some questions I want to ask you to get you up and rolling. But really the essence of what today is about is to just ground you in some ideas that you can make some decisions to move forward. Because with the information, you can figure out the transformation, and that's really important in your life at this point in time. Now, if you're still here and you've got a legacy that's in full bloom, but you think you might learn a little something, I believe that's the case. But if you're certainly here just starting up, thinking about revamping, reframing what your life is going to be about, then you certainly are in a great place to get started. Now, with my interactions with this YouTube channel, you'll probably, if you've not gone and looked, I'm 1,400 videos in, but I've been going about 11 years now. But I've been using the channel to just sort of express ideas. I can't say that I had like a coherent whole story, and that's okay. I needed it, what I needed to be able to do some of the work that I did, and I've had the pleasure of working around the world, written many books, offered lots of different kind of courses as an adult educator, and therefore I certainly lean into supporting those who are adults, 60 plus, educating background. What I would also suggest is that if you're 60 plus and you've come at it and you go, I'm not an educator, I believe you are. And I know that to be true because when you listen, you learn. Where you share, you educate. So wherever you're listening through conversations, listening into videos, even like this one, you're learning. But when you go to share, whether written, videos, conversations in meetings, whatever it might be, you are educating about your perceptions, perspectives, your point of view. So at 60 plus, you're an educator. You've been it for many years, but now you could, if you so decide, to step into being an educator. And that's where I believe that I can be of the greatest assistance. So let me set that up for you. And so if you have this uncertainty about what's next, and you're thinking about, can I get a clear, confident sense of a legacy direction, and you could help me out, Stephen, then let's keep going. I believe I can. I have spent many years thinking this true, and I'm writing some new books on that topic about getting clear, getting confident, making the commitment, having the courage to be able to do so. And these videos that are going to follow, both shorts and longs, are going to bring that to the foreground, to bring out this sense of what I call a legacy ecosystem. And I'll come back to legacy here in a second. And this legacy ecosystem is really made up of the inspired concepts of living legacy after 60. It's about walking the wise practices along a legacy pathway. And it's about becoming a legasant. What are the elegant essences of being a legacyant based on a definition of legacy I'll share now. So legacy is about the useful whats that you gift others so that they might learn something from you, and through your conversations, especially intergenerational conversations, you can learn as well. And therefore you get to advance, amplify ways of being and having and doing because of your interaction with others. And that's what legacy is about. Now, one of the great questions to ask is, do you want to leave a legacy, live a legacy, or live the legacy you intend to leave? They make a difference, whichever one you're attempting to take a look at. And there's more videos about that and to follow, but just think through that phrasing. What seems to resonate with you, for you, because of you? Give it a go. See what happens. What comes to the foreground for you? Now, if I can help you make sense of your experience and expertise, of what it is that you might have called a career or your life that you've lived to this point in time, you've had all of these experiences, and you want to have some more. There's expertise in there, certain things that you find you could really help others with. If you tapped into that experience and expertise, you could figure out a legacy, the gifts that you want to share. Now, sometimes what you think of the gifts may not be actually what others could really benefit from, and that's sorting a story out that can actually be a lot of fun if you give yourself a blank piece of paper, opportunity to take a look at what's going on, and just having fun. And that's why walking the legacy pathway is so wonderful and wonderful, because it gives you an opportunity to do that. Again, more around the legacy pathway and other videos to follow as I break it down and lay it out for you to consider. But if in your pursuit of this legacy, your gifts, and you want to shape and share and live this legacy that you intend to leave, then what you can do is think about it this way. What are some stories, and we are story creators and co-creators, and I would go so far as eco-creators, again, another day, but the stories that you can create from your experience, expertise, and are the stories that you want to create and share by living your legacy, then that opens up opportunities for you for contributions and projects. And usually the projects are done as adventures together with others. The contributions are ways in which you can be on your unique journey, but doing things with certain people, not as many people as a project necessarily, but being able to support others, like maybe writing a recipe book or bringing some wisdom from the family out into the foreground, maybe writing your own memoir and sort of sharing that out versus, oh, there's a bigger project, an environmental project that I want to get involved with, how to help to build out a forest in a city so that kids can really experience the outdoors. Again, possibilities. So I make the distinction of the stories coming from your experience, expertise, that then you figure out what's the best connection, project contribution, and continue to move that forward. Now, that means that one of the greatest services that I can be is an elegant reframer. Now, when I came up with this sense of elegant reframer, mapping legacy, helping to set out the base frameworks and plans for your legacy, it's built of years of my own adult education work and going, you know what? What is it that I can do to be of the greatest service that can help many, whether doing it through a course or in some instances, one-to-one. Decode legacy, how to accelerate your legacy approach, how to master your legacy. I came to understand all of that because of my own work. I've published 20 books of different kinds over the years. I've done hundreds of courses, been a university professor, as I have been a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. Hey, listen, I've had my own disasters of lost everything, some bad decisions along the way, including my home, bankruptcy. I've had a lot happen over these years that I'm pulling my experience, my expertise to be able to lay it out here so that others can figure it out. And one of my greatest learnings is I had to reframe aging through legacy and not think about legacy as an aging aspect. Is, okay, I'm aging, great. There's the measurement of time, but there's the direction of legacy. And what did I want to lean into more? The aging story or into the legacy story? The ecosystem that I've created around legacy, the definition of legacy that I thought would be of great assistance to you. So if I was to get you started today, here's some questions that I would ask of you, and let's sort of see where these might take you at this point in time. Each of these questions that I have, we could do a video on each one. Guess what? That's what I'm going to probably be doing as we take a look at them. But let's just get started. 5 in particular to see if this helps you out. And again, in the comments down below, let us know what you're thinking, and that way we can learn together. So the first one is, what's your legacy? Now, some of you may have already thought about it. Others of you might go, I'm still figuring that out. So what's your legacy? Take a pad of paper out, open up a new document on a computer. What's your legacy? And if you need to, go back and listen to my definition of legacy. See if that helps you to answer the question. Then think of it this way. Of the time, effort, and money that you have available in living your life now, how can you make legacy happen? Of the time, effort, and money that you have available, how can you make legacy happen? Now, that links back to the first question, but let me help you out with the next question. When you think of legacy from the future, the third question is, what is it that you want to improve, focus, and strengthen? There's a future element. You're looking at it. What do I want to improve, focus, and strengthen that I could bring back to help inform me of my legacy? It's called legacy intention. Now, you might be a gardener, and it may be a hobby. It wasn't actually a career, and you're going, I would really like to learn about this kind of gardening, and then being able to help bridge youth and learning about gardening, because I think it's so important. But because I live in a colder climate, how might I connect that to greenhouses? And therefore, I want to improve, focus, and strengthen the use of greenhouses, even in your backyard, so that one can have herbs and base vegetables available all the time. So again, it may not have been your career. You may have been a corporate manager, leader in a technology company, but you've always had this interest in gardening. So what do you want to improve, focus, and strengthen in the future that you can bring back as a story thread for projects and contributions now? So that was the third one. The fourth one is, what education format do you lean into when you want to use a way in which to share ideas with others? And it goes back to, again, when you listen, you learn, where you share, you educate. What education approach? Now, you can go into the wider sense. You might go, okay, mentor, facilitator, okay, influencer, impactor. There are different words that are coming out now, but what's that education approach? I want to share. How is it that I'm sharing? Because that'll give you clues that links up to what you want to improve, focus, and strengthen because of the education approach. What gives you a sense of time, effort, and money allocation. Do I have to learn something new, or can I just enhance what I have already to be able to ensure that my legacy? Now, the fifth question that I have for you. Now, this one's an interesting one. What's the status of your felt safety? Do you have safe systems around you and using safer practices? Remember, you're 60 plus. Things start to happen. Do you have the safe systems around you? Do you have the food that you need, the warmth? Do you have the support of family or friends or both? Do you have the safer practices, understanding, hey, hang on a minute, maybe I do need hearing aids now? Or how about my glasses? Have I had an update? Have I gone and had my medical checkup lately? These kind of ideas about felt safety, so that if taking on and becoming clear and confident in your legacy and shaping and sharing and living your legacy as a way in which to live your 60s and your 70s, 80s, 90s, then what's the felt safety? And if it's not something that you've thought much about, again, give you some space to do that. I'll be doing a little bit more of a video on that one, just to open up that possibilities for you as well. But it's an important question to ask yourself now as you bring these first 5 questions to the foreground in saying, hey, I'm going to be living the legacy that I intend to leave. If that's your response to the earlier question. Having shared these 5 questions and opening up the possibilities here, I'm going to be asking you, comments are going to be so appreciated. What's landing for you? What's not? Where might I still be slightly confusing you? What questions do you have so that I can answer them? Because on my shorts, which I usually publish in the morning, they're great for legacy journaling. They're great prompts. And I'm attempting to weave a little bit more story sharing into them as well. The other aspect of all of this is that I believe that story sharing and storytelling are going to be essential skills, knowledge and skills to learn and to grab a great attitude around them. And I'm going to be promoting some workshops around that. So keep an ear and eye out for those. I'll be shooting videos to help explain that. But also, if you like magazines, like a PDF online magazine, on the full moon of every month, I share an online magazine called Legacent, Living Legacy Conservations. And in there, I'm making a connection between becoming a legacent and understanding about conservations in its widest sense. Yeah, the environment, but also ideas and memories. So what does that mean, and how is a legacent that you can do that? And I also believe that there's a time to bring to the foreground, you could become a legacent in support of others on their legacy journeys. I could help you out with that. And some of that might be is, what would it mean to actually become a mentor, really learn that educator approach? And I have a friend of mine as a co-created project. We're going to be bringing out how to mentor, and if you want to get certified in mentoring, we will be offering that, and then leaning that into becoming a legacent as a self-described way in which to live your life. What I'm hoping with this video is that I've given you a broad brush understanding of what's possible. And I would encourage you, again, questions down below, comments down below, look up what it is that we're doing, stay current with subscribe here, and let's just enjoy ourselves as we bring this together. And as I usually finish most of my long videos, always and in all ways, take care.